I'm Becky Litwicki, and today is day 18 of the 28-day Feel the Love Yoga series. Today is all about feeling simple and bringing simplicity onto the mat with us. We're going to stick to some pretty basic postures and some basic breath work, so there's not a whole lot of complexity in the asanas and breathing techniques that we're using today. Sometimes complexity can be really helpful. It can demand a lot of attention and really pull us into the present moment. But sometimes, and I think this is true in a lot of people's lifestyle right now, is that they really seek and desire they have a need for simplicity in their life. And so by bringing this concept of simplicity to the mat with us, it's something that we can carry out into the world with us once we're done. Things don't have to always be challenging and complex and crazy to really be effective. And so today we're going to stick with simple and yet still feel the benefits of yoga in a simple form. Let's get in our space together. Okay, so today's simple practice is going to begin standing. So we're going to start in mountain pose. So feel your feet come to hip width. Make sure your toes are spread so you have a nice firm foundation. Draw the belly button in, and then let's start with some movement in our shoulders and our neck. So we're going to roll our shoulders up towards our ears and let our shoulder blades melt down our back. As you move through these motions with the shoulders, also feel your breath move with the breath. As you exhale, the shoulder blades slide down your back. The inhale lifts them high. Good, now let's go forward. So inhale the shoulders up, let them roll forward on the exhale. You can also draw them in and back, kind of like you're going to pinch a pencil back there before drawing them up. Just trying to get some movement in the shoulders here. Move with the breath. Good. Then let's stand up nice and tall and let your ear drop to your shoulder. We'll go both directions, so just pick whichever one you want to go with first. As you inhale, draw your chin down towards the chest, and exhale as you let it roll to the opposite shoulder. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you fall away to the original side. Inhale to middle, exhale, fall to the second side. Good. Go ahead and come back to center. We're just going to look over one shoulder, move our neck, and look over the other shoulder. So you can see these movements are really simple, but we don't always give our neck love, especially if we sometimes get distracted by trying to get deep into a pose, or we spend a lot of time on our computer. Now just take a few breaths to move in whatever way you feel like your neck needs. And then go ahead and come back to center. We're going to move through some half sun salutes here. So you're still in your mountain pose. Feel the shoulder blades roll down the back, drawn in a little bit, letting the hands roll open. Going to inhale the arms high to the sky. Feel your belly button draw in. Feel the sides of your body get long. And then exhale as you fold forward, only as far as you are able, keeping your knees bent as much as you need to. Inhale, look up partway, bringing the fingertips just below the knees or somewhere on the shins. Feel your back get really long here. Nice long spine from the top of your head to your tailbone. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to rise, hands overhead, then hands to heart. Let's flow through that a few more times with a little bit more speed. Simple movements, just moving with the breath. Inhale up, exhale as you fold. Inhale, look up partway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, look up part way. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms up overhead. One more time. Exhale to fold. Inhale, look up part way. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms overhead. Good. Then bring your hands to your heart. We'll just do a little bit of twisting here. So bring your feet outside of hip width. And we're just going to let the weight of our arms hang as we start to twist in our core. Our hips will stay forward. We're just rotating the spine, letting our arms swing from one side to the other. These simple movements can help us feel so much better. And today's practice is going to be kind of short, just another showing that we don't always need things to be complex and long and crazy special to really still have a great impact on our mindset and the way our body feels. Slow yourself down and we'll come back to standing center. Then we're going to move to a tabletop position. This is one we're in often. The knees will come just below the hips. The hands are spread moderately under each shoulder. Tops of the feet are pressing into the floor. Now we're going to inhale and let the belly drop to the floor. And on the exhale, draw the belly button into the spine. Good. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the ribs, fill the chest. As you exhale, think about pushing it all out and drawing in your belly button. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Draw in your belly button. Good. Now we'll move through some cat-cows. So inhale as you lift your gaze and your tailbone high to the sky. Exhale, press away, all the while keeping your belly button tucked in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, lower. Good. Now we're going to move from our tabletop position into plank pose here. So if this is too intense, you can always just be on the knees. Find a modification that works for you. We want to have a nice, strong core without planking here or without sinking in the hips. And then we're going to shift back to our downward dog. Now with downward dog, this is probably the most complex pose that we'll do for today. Think about pressing all four corners of the hands into the ground, rotating the upper arms towards the front of your mat or space, and then rotating the upper thighs towards the back of your mat. Keeping the tailbone lifted high. Let's lower to our tabletop position. A breath or two here. And then we'll move back into our downward dog. So lift the hips. Start with bent knees so that you can get the tailbone lifted high. Press away through the hands. And then if you feel like you can spiral your upper thighs back, then you can start to move the heels towards the floor. Good. Go ahead and lower to your tabletop. Like I said, that's a little bit more complex than just our tabletop. But we've done them a lot, so I felt like it would be an okay thing to add to today's practice. We're going to go ahead now and shift into our child's pose. Here we want to emphasize getting the sit bones to the heels. I like to do it with the big toes touching and the knees splayed out. If you feel like this is as far as you can come, then stay on the elbows. If you feel like you can keep your sit bones grounding into your heels, you can lower to your hands. And here, just feel your breath. On your next inhale, rise just enough that you can walk your hands over to one side, and then you can lower just a bit so that you can feel opening through the side of the body. Try to feel both sit bones pressing evenly towards the heels and not rolling open. If you're sensing that rolling open, then come back, draw your hand back a little bit. Inhale to middle, and exhale as you sink into the opposite side. Inhale to rise, and go ahead and come to your back. We're just gonna simply hug our knees in here. You can rock a little bit side to side if you want. Feel some lengthening in the back. And then go ahead and extend the legs and arms out. Palms rolled up, shoulder blades tucked under. And Shavasana looks like an easy pose and feels as though it should be simple. But for some people, it might be a very complicated pose. It can be really challenging to settle the mind, let it be quiet and still. Finding stillness in the body might not be as difficult. But with Shavasana, we want to slow the mind as well. Time allows, please stay in Shavasana even longer to practice that stillness and simplicity in your mind, trying to block out all the thoughts that might be flowing through. It can take a little bit of, it definitely takes practice, but it can also take some time. And because I try to keep these videos short, we don't always have 10 or 15 minutes to enjoy our Shavasana. So stay in it as long as you can. With what I mentioned about Shavasana sometimes being a hard pose for some people, or it feels really complex to them because it's difficult for them to slow down their mind, that's kind of the concept with a lot of things. What really feels simple to one person can feel extremely complicated to another person. So today we stuck with poses that are somewhat simple and basic in their structure. But if you felt like they weren't so simple and they were a little bit more complicated, try a different video. It doesn't mean that it's that anything's wrong. It just might mean that it didn't resonate with you. It might be a good time to put an intention out for bringing simplicity into the rest of your life. Maybe make some notes about how you'd like to do that. So if that's something you want to carry into your off the mat lifestyle. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Please consider sharing it with someone who might enjoy it as well. Let me know what you think down below, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Namaste.